Time now for local weather.
In a quarter of a mile, turn left.
Welcome to our little video from Pembrokeshire, Wales.
Straight right, then turn right. Turn right.
First things first, always get a child to set everything up. Perfect. So here we are in a caravan and camping site in Freshwater East, which is a village in Pembrokeshire, Wales. The majority of the village is on a cliff overlooking a bay. It is approximately 7 miles or 11 kilometres from Pembroke by road. But who needs any of that when you've got a Nintendo? The air fryer. Fat-free chips, 24 hours a day. Located within the Pembrokeshire Coastal National Park, Freshwater East caravan site offers more than just fresh coastal air and warm sunshine. The park boasts picturesque walks along the coastal path and stunning cliff top views. In the summer, and obviously having that great British relentless optimism, we're expecting wonderful weather in this April holiday.
Anthony with an eye on the end of it, where did that one originate from?
First of all, good morning. Now, at the moment, the Met Office have not actually named this storm, so there's a bit of a community discussion going on whether they should, because this is not dissimilar to the one we saw in 2019, Hannah, late April, that brought 60, 70 mile an hour winds to Wales particularly. So look, we've got some time yet, but this is a downhill today, and this particular storm that's coming in, that's going to affect mainly the west and the southwest and the south, but it's going to take 24 to 36 hours, so a windy time to come. Yeah, there you go, the yellow warnings. This day is going to go downwards, and it's going to go all the way into tomorrow with the rain tonight and then the winds that follow.
Oh, never mind, we got time to talk about Tenby. So when was Tenby built? Founded in 1093, Tenby started its life as a colonial outpost of the Norman dynasty, something that would distinguish Pembrokeshire and its people from much of the rest of the nation for centuries to come. So why are the houses in Tenby coloured? The legend has it that fishermen would paint their homes in various colours so that they could recognise their own as they return from long trips at sea. It's the rich tapestry and history woven through the streets in Tenby that make it such a special place to visit. Did you know that St Catherine's Island in Tenby was actually operated as a zoo from 1968 to 1979? In April 2014, the island was opened to the public for visitors and tours. Yes. In the summer, do you ever get that feeling that you should have looked at the weather forecast before booking your holiday? Nah, me neither. It's time for me. Well, only one thing for it, let's find a cafe. Nestled within a cobbled street in the heart of Tenby's historic town, the Pembrokeshire Pasty and Pie Company shop is a welcoming space for visitors exploring Tenby, with a small eating area for those windy, wisty, rainy days, just like this. A line that the stars have drawn. That's why I'm in the wind. Actually, Zefan, it looks like you've styled your hair for the first time ever. So what's it like in Pembrokeshire, Karen? Oh dear, it's unbelievable, isn't it? That looks mega. Maybe next time. This narrow townhouse was once lived in by a local merchant in Tenby. The Tudor merchant's house is typical of the type of prosperous merchant houses which sprang up when Tenby was a thriving port in the late Middle Ages. Step inside and see a wealthy merchant and how they may have lived. Did you know that this is the original food bank? The Tudors invented it, having to give out free food to people who needed it at the door. How fantastic is that? What is it, Karen?
Your crap go all the way down.
My crap. 40p to have a wee. To be honest, I've had better for less. So last night was very windy indeed. Actually, when we arrived at the campsite, the wardens stopped us, flagged us down and said, look, we've been chasing your stuff all over the campsite. We've put it all underneath your trailer tent. The campsite wardens said that they had to take down the windbreakers that we put here because it was so windy. Suggested to us that the trailer tent canopy had actually ripped, so we were really quite worried. So we came back here last night and Zephan did a little repair job here. It was slightly split, a little hole there for the awning. The winds were extremely high yesterday, and here it is today. Really quite concerning for everybody, even caravanners. So it was quite bad, to be honest. And we're just looking at the damage today. It doesn't seem to be too bad, but we even put this guy rope just to give a bit of tension, so that when the wind blew, it didn't completely collapse the poles on the inside. Yeah. Windy night, very windy. Pembrokeshire in April, maybe not. Anyway, it's a new day. Let's see what we can see.
Each walk there, the distance is 400 meters.
Aberidi! Whee! What a beautiful day! Aberidi Beach is famous for its black sand and full of tiny fossils. It nestles in a sheltered bay. It's one of Pembrokeshire's pebbles backstorm beaches. The same slate gives a deep blue colour to the water in the Blue Lagoon. A beautifully sited flooded slate quarry, past ruined quarry buildings and slate workers' cottages. In keeping with the rural location, there is little in the way of services, although an ice cream and drinks van is usually located in the car park in the summer months. Yes, this is April. A wide range of shops and services are available at St David's 5 miles to the south. The Blue Lagoon and much of the coast here in Porthagon is owned by the National Trust and forms part of Pembrokeshire's Coast Path. Today, the Blue Lagoon is a popular spot for rock climbers and for clubs which jump from the rocks into the cold, deep water. With its distinctive blue hue, even for those not wanting to take part, it can be fascinating to watch. The lagoon and the surrounding coastline are also used by coast steering and kayaking groups. For those of you interested in statistics, the Blue Lagoon is 25 metres deep. According to our nearby Pembrokeshire National Park Information Board, despite the name, the water is always a distinct greenish hue owing to the mineral content within the quarry. Good idea, Zephan. How fantastic is this? So why is the Blue Lagoon in Wales blue? Well, the quarry was purposely flooded and much of the stone on the cliffside fell into the sea. It's the sediment from the slate stone that turned the water blue, created the name Blue Lagoon. By 1910, Aberidi Quarry was out of use and the area was completely abandoned. Hold up a minute, why is this the wrong way around? Oh dear. All jokes aside, you're going to have to wear a wetsuit if you're going to jump off that cliff. We didn't realise it at the time. The water is so cold, you're at risk of hypothermia very quickly, and that's the reason why we came out of the water. It's really important that safety comes first because it's dangerous. It's only right that we give thanks to God who gave us this holiday and helped us to avoid hypothermia. It is Him that we live and move and have our being. Because of God, everything in all creation is upheld by God's almighty hand through Christ, and we give thanks and praise.
When I was lost and hopeless, when I was at my worst, it's grace that you extended that I did not deserve. I am so amazed by all you have done. I cannot explain the depth of your love. Limits can't contain the heart of you, God. I'm amazed at the depth of your love.
Welcome to Porthgain. What is the history of Porthgain? Throughout the 19th century, Porthgain had a rather checkered industrial history, best known for its slate, then brickmaking, and finally for coral gravel. It is now best known for two art galleries, an old smuggler's pub, and the remains of the granite hoppers. In the 1980s, the Porthgain designated conservation area and industrial properties and land were purchased by the local residents and the Pembrokeshire Coast National Park Authority. The harbour, still home to the local fishermen, can get very busy in the summer with recreational boaters. Other attractions and conveniences include the Pembrokeshire Coastal Path, rambling up both sides of the harbour, and the Strumble shuttle bus, and the sloop, which is also called the Step-In, and boats were able to dock beside the pub and the crews could, you guessed it, step in. Porthgain also has a shed. A shed, you ask? Yes, a shed where we can get some fish and chips. The Shed Bistro sits within what was the old machine shop for the engineers used in the nearby Slate Quarry. Now a relaxed and informal cafe, Bistro The Shed is a firm favourite among locals and visitors alike.
You arrive just on time because the food is until 2:30, so yeah. There is haddock, cod. You can have it full or half. Cake. Then there is scampi. Good. What do you want, Stefan?
Yes.
can have a full.
Fella. And how big is the portion?
This guy's like, get off my room! Hello! Hello! I'm not out of breath. Not even a little bit. Not even a tiny bit am I out of breath. And if I didn't tell you, you wouldn't be able to tell that I'm slightly knackered. Did you know there are some steps that you can follow on this trail? Okay, step 1. Walk along the south side of Porthgain Harbour below the brick hoppers. Reach the coast path, climb the steps next to a white building. Completed! Next, step 2. Around a sharp left bend in the path, at the corner of a field, the tower above Aberridi comes into view. Continue along the coast path through a section of dramatic high cliffs and you'll see some puffins. I like puffin books, it's my kind of level. What's so funny? I can't help falling over, can I? Okay, step 3. The coast path continues over open grassland, skirting along the cliffs before zigzagging down towards Aberridi Beach. If you don't want to continue with the full circular walk, catch the Strumble shuttle bus to Porthgain, St David's or Fishguard. So how far is the coastal walk from Aberridi to Porthgain? Well, the Aberridi to Porthgain walk is a short 1.9 miles. Allow 2 hours in each direction to soak up all the views. But we didn't actually walk that, we drove because we're lazy. Son, I love you and I think you rock, but I'll never take you for granted again. Did you know that rescuers had to use ropes to save a dog that had got stranded overnight after straying over a cliff top? HMS Coast Guard teams carried out the rescue at Porthgain, Pembrokeshire after being called out on Saturday at 22:30 hours. Dog's owner pinpointed the location before a rescuer abseiled down a cliff. It's amazing what people will do for a dog. Wait a minute, what's this? Oh, it's a dramatic superhero entrance. Zephan and I enjoy a little bit of Coldplay, so this is our little nod to Coldplay and their videos.
There's a new day that will come again tomorrow. There's a new day to wash away the pain. your sorrow and the old ways get washed out by the rain. Darling, you've got to keep holding on through the night, 'cause I promise you this: if you try to get some sleep, if you give up the fight, if only just for a bit, there's a new day to leave behind your troubles. There's a new day and it will set you free. There's a new day to get you through your struggles. I will always think of you and me. Darling, you've got to keep holding on through the night, 'cause I promise you this: if you try to get some sleep, if you give up the fight, if only just for a bit, there's a new day, it is waiting for us. There's a new day waiting round the bend.
Scott,
There's a
I'm nearly
new
stacked it.
day, and it will
Teenagers,
restore
they love human misery.
us. There will be new ways. This is not the end.
Well, we're coming to the end of our holiday in Pembrokeshire, but here we are at Pembrokeshire Castle, which has a long and fascinating history, for it was around 1093 that Earl Montgomery built a small inner bailey standing at the end of the promontory. Only a few years later, the castle withstood a long siege by the Welsh, although its defenders were near starvation. Those keen to trace Pembrokeshire's history back to the High Middle Ages should visit Pembroke Castle. Its beginnings date back to 1093, when it was built by Earl Roger of Montgomery. The castle has endured several sieges over the centuries and even witnessed the birth of royalty, Henry VII, no less.
Fists in the air and I am Sir Benfro. Most slender of frame and most humble of nature. You would be my young knights in training, would you? Very good. But if you would be a true knight of Pembroke Castle, you must first agree to our knightly code of conduct. These of rules you must live and die by if you are to be worthy to hold the title of knight. Rule, you must show me that you agree by shouting "Aye, my lord." Can you do that?
Aye, my lord.
Some of you don't sound so sure. I said, can you do that?
Aye, my lord.
Excellent. Will you be courageous?
Aye, my lord.
Will you help the weak and the oppressed?
Aye, my lord.
Will you fight injustice wherever you might find it?
Aye, my lord.
Will you treat your elders with respect and time? Washing up?
Aye, my lord.
And will you be loyal to Pembroke Castle and serve its keeper, Sir Benfro, who is the mightiest, most noble, most deadly,
most irresistible to the ladies
of all the knights in all the land?
my lord.
Very good indeed. And finally, and most importantly of all, do you swear not to bat the heck out of each other when we give you swords? Very good. Then you are ready for your first challenge. The storming of the castle. Out of my way, wench.
Can you bring your dogs to Pembroke Castle? Pembroke Castle is a dog-friendly attraction and welcomes well-behaved dogs on short leads anywhere in the castle without exception. Well, except the gift shop, which is an exception. During the troubled reign of King Charles I, the castle was attacked in turn by both royalists and roundheads as the sympathies of both occupants altered. But I wonder if they were able to enjoy the castle kitchen just like us, enjoying those delicious homemade meals, cakes and savouries. Look at those cakes. There is an introductory video which gives you the background to the characters involved and the history of Pembroke Castle. We watched most of that as it was very interesting, and to find out more about the Welsh princes, lords and the English and the French invasions with the changing kings. Another huge fireplace. This is where they came to sing. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Yeah. Look at this, FN. You can see all the peasants. Hey, peasants, bring me a pheasant. In the courtyard is a great huge map of Wales and the castles and abbeys and priories and smaller defences, which is quite interesting to see. If you're going with your family, there's lots to see and do. We were able to use the maps provided and wander around the castle walls and remaining towers. In some, there were models set up for reenactments, which was really quite interesting. Others were blank spaces with information about them on posters or signs. Lots to read. It took us through the history, right up to the modern history of world wars today, which was quite scary. You see the church.
Some people just look at your dinner poo and some just come in and...
I just think they had a different view of privacy back then. Well, they understood safety because that's why they built the castle. But they just didn't have a real understanding of health and safety. To say that there is a lot of steps in the castle is an understatement, for there is a lot. The Normans constructed a spiral staircase from the cavern to the castle above, and today you can still reach the cavern directly from the castle via 55-step staircase. It's the Bat Cave. I found it. I'm telling everyone. I finally found the Bat Cave. The building of the Great Keep was commenced in 1204 by William Marshall. The keep stands at 80 foot high and was originally 5 stories high, and it's 100 steps to the top. Wow. All I can say is that I'm glad we made it. It took us at least 5 minutes and we're completely out of breath, but the views of Pembroke is completely worth it, even on a slightly overcast day like it is today. We really had a good time here. It's a very well kept castle as well. So go down to Wales, check it out. Only one thing for it now is to eat a lolly from the castle. When we took Zephan to Carnarvon Castle in Wales, he came out of the castle to eat one of these. So I thought, I'm going to do it this time. And so is Karen. Well, that's that. We hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon in the next one.
Thank you, and good night.